Hey, and welcome back to my channel. First, the cat's here. Today is going to be not even a bittersweet moment, just straight chop down. I don't even know what. I decided to chop my big Pothos, golden Pothos that's right over here off the screen, which you can't see it because it's cropped in, but it's on a large moss pole and I will share a video of it. I decided to chop it all back because we're moving. And unfortunately, I don't have a fourth bedroom in this new house that I do here to house all of my plants. And so I'm really having to think about things and cut some of them down or just get rid of some of them, which I honestly don't know how many I'm going to be able to get rid of. Or how many I will get rid of. However, this plant, my golden Pothos, is one that I kind of just have not been loving, and it just needs to be chopped down because I don't really want to give it the room or the space and the light that it needs in this new home because there is limited space. So I would prefer to chop it down than to say get rid of something like my big, beautiful Monstera Thai or my big Mayo-eye philodendron that I have in my living room, things like that, because they are all of equal size. And again, I just can't house that many large plants in my current setup or my new setup that I will have. So I decided to just chop it down, cut it all back. I am going to be keeping some of the top cuttings because it has grown really large since I placed it on the moss pole. I have a whole video of this guy, how I got it. It was 20 bucks at Home Depot, and how I created the moss pole and put it on there and grew it. It adhered into it. And so you can go watch that video if you would like. It would be awesome if you do, but I'm just going to go ahead and chop it all back today and propagate what I can and pot it up for my next plant pop-up that I will be having in September. And so it won't go to waste. I'll give some of it away, I am sure, because there is going to be plenty of it. So if you are new here, this is a channel where I talk about my houseplants and do DIYs. And if that interests you, make sure to subscribe to this channel. If you are if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back, watching another video, commenting, liking. I really appreciate it. Again, I won't get into the whole how I got this Pothos and grew it to this large size, but you can go ahead and go through my videos and check that one out, the original video on this guy, because again, I did get this on a trellis for 20 bucks at Home Depot, and it was not this large. So I am very proud of how far it has come. It does sit in this room. It has always sat in this room. It's a CNZ 35 watt grow light right there. I am sitting like across from a north facing window. So not a lot of light coming into this room at all, but all of this light that you see is grow lights. And so it does get, I don't even know. It doesn't even get ambient light. Like it kind of just gets no light. You can see the separation once you get to this side of the room. There really isn't light. So it has survived and done very well. I water it every 2 months. It does not need it because it is in a large pot, over a gallon pot, I would say. I can't even tell you what it is. And it is on a moss pole. So I spray the moss pole before I water the entire plant, but we're going to go ahead and just chop it up. All right. So this is my moss pole, or this is my golden Pothos. Now it is on a stand, so it is not this tall, but it is still fairly tall. And I couldn't tell you the size that it is. I can't remember what we ended up, like how tall the moss pole ended up being, but it is pretty large, and it's about a 3-inch moss pole, way larger than I normally do, but there was so much plant. And so I just wanted to create a larger moss pole so that I could wrap the plant around it nicely. And it did, but over time, some of them died off, and you can definitely see the bare patches. Now I did do a house cleaning video, I don't know when, a little bit ago, and kind of cleaned it up and wrapped them around better. And that did help the situation of it being so bare. But I'm just going to go ahead and start from the top and chop it all the way back. Now, this top cutting I will be keeping because this is where the really large leaves are. You can see how they're really big. I mean, as big as my hand. And this is not how big they started out off. out as. I will show you a close-up of like the actual size that they started out of, but they are doing really well. They are getting a little bit smaller now, but I think that's because the light has definitely dimmed down in here as the light changes, because we're passing spring, we're passing summer, and moving into the fall and winter. And again, it is a north-facing window, so it does not get a premium amount of light by any means. And it is adhered in right here, so it's got a really long aerial root stuck. And I'm not trying to cut them, I'm just trying to pull them out slightly. Okay, so you can see where it has definitely grown aerial roots, and those were in, which is awesome. So this is what the plant started out as, the size of the leaves at least, and then this is what it grew to. You can see the really big leaves down here. So that's a really good size up. You can definitely see the size difference of the two. I do use these hair clips, these like butterfly little clips from Walmart, the hair section. You can get like 20 of them for $2. And pretty much what I'm doing is, once I see that there are no leaves in a significant amount of space, then I chop. So this is all one vine. Okay, so this is the end of the pot. And again, I've chopped this several times, so you can see this is a new shoot that was grown from a cutting. And I will probably end up taking these two leaves away and just rooting this part of it and cutting this part off. I am not going to do anything with these bare sticks. You could totally do wet stick propagation, but it's just too many, and I'm not going to do that. Same for this guy. This is the only leaf on this entire vine. It's just going in the garbage. And these are all the vines that I didn't have wrapped. I just have shoved down inside the pot. So like, I'll root this guy. This is one long vine all the way down here. So this is going to go away. However, this will stay. Same for this one. Taking off the original like stem, or quote unquote mother vine, and then leaving this. This is a long vine. That'll keep this. Then this guy, I'm just gonna chop him. I don't even want it. I'm not even gonna bother. Some of these leaves look really wilted, and I honestly don't think they would survive if I propagated them. This plant though looks nice. This is like a really baby offshoot that I will absolutely keep. But like, these look really wilted. See how wilted they look? And yellowing stem, not even gonna bother keeping it. And I don't think I'm going to keep anything else in here, if I'm being honest. Maybe, I don't know. I think I have quite a bit. This one might be okay to save because it's really good and rooted. Okay, I think that's it. Maybe not. I guess these ones are good. These ones are perky and nice. And they have some good aerial roots growing. Okay, so what's in there is just going in the trash. Not saving it, not worrying about it, because I have an entire desk filled with it. And here's the cat. So I have all this to go through now, and the cat to get off of here. Okay, can you get off, cat? So I am just going to keep it simple and propagate them in water. I've never found golden pothos to be finicky on that, and I'm not going to think too hard about it. So for this vine, I really do just want to keep it like one long vine. So I'm just going to cut this down a little bit and go ahead and propagate this. Just stick it in the water. I don't want a million one leaf cuttings personally. Now this guy, I'm going to have to get rid of this bottom leaf here. Excuse me, cat, sorry. And then just propagate it like this. This is going to be a pain in the butt, but it'll be fine. I don't know where I'm going to put it at, I guess, is why it's going to be a pain in the butt. That's going to be there. Now, this guy is just one little plant. I'm just going to stick it in there in the water. And then the same for this guy. It's already one little plant and well rooted. For these guys, let's see here. Got a lot going on. Oh, this one's sticking in there. Just taking off the leaves, the lower leaves.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, I need to throw it away. Thank you. Like things like this, though, I'm going to chop down here, get rid of that leaf, and then propagate the rest of this. Same for this guy. I'm going to chop it off here. Just throwing dirt and more. Propagating this part. Actually, I'm going to cut that leaf off too. Okay. Good deal. This guy is really long. I'm going to say bye-bye to that. And then propagate this half. And I'm going to propagate this bottom part. This is a really long vine, so I'll put all the long vines in one, because why not have all the pain in the butt ones in the same pot. Now this guy is also really long. Chopping it there. I'm going to remove those bottom leaves. And then I'm going to put it in the pot of longs.
Thank you.
Thank you. All of those need to be tossed in the trash, Lossie. Ooh, one fell. Throw that away. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Putting it there. Dump truck goes there. A couple more really long vines. That's dead. That's like a, not even a leaf. I don't know what that is. Wouldn't consider it much. That there. For this one. This one has some pretty long internodes. See how long? It's just, when you have a really long and leggy plant like this, where the internodes, which is the part between the two leaves, is growing and it's super wide, it just means that there's lack of light, most likely, and the plant just grows longer. It doesn't grow as full and together as it should. And so usually if that comes into play, I like to chop those areas up. But that, again, is just so many leaves that I'd have single cuttings of that I really don't want. So I'm going to contemplate that and just stick with this one right here. Okay, wait, this is the last one. Okay, so this is the last one. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to chop it down a little bit more? Okay, so I guess I'm going to chop this in half. And that way I can have a better and more manageable vine, because this is too long. Cutting it at that one. So this will be one of the cuttings, which is still extremely long, but that's okay. Stick that in water, and then we'll stick this guy in water, which is great. Okay, now it's just a matter of where I'm going to put all these propagations, because, is that it? That's officially it? Because I'm also running out of room for propagations at the moment, but this is what I got from it. This, all of this, and all of this. So again, I did not do any single cuttings, which you absolutely can, which just means instead of taking a vine, you take a single leaf like this and you chop it. I'll show an example of that because I've already chopped that big guy previously, and this is what I got from them. These are all single cuttings, single leaf cuttings that I took, and they've all rooted extremely well, which again, Pothos are known for just how easy they are to root. So this is a single leaf cutting that you can take, which will create far more plants, far more vines, and then you can put them together to create a more full pot. But do you see how the little leaf is just growing off right here? So you want to cut a single leaf cutting between nodes. So wherever there's a little bump, that's where you would cut before and after. So basically a leaf before and after it. And then that node will activate, and a new little leaf will pop out. And this will be the new vine. This leaf will eventually die off, you know, whenever you repot it and it does its purpose, serves its time, and a new vine will grow with completely new foliage off of this point. And then all of the roots will come off of that node as well, and then it will continue to obviously create a root system. But this has been sitting in here for several months now, and you can see they all need to be repotted. I need to repot this badly, but I just haven't had the time and haven't had the area and space. So it will be something that I definitely need to do before my next pop-up, and then see what is also rooted from this group and do the same. Now, again, I'm going to be keeping these larger cuttings because it is beautiful. I definitely want to regrow it at some point, whether that be outside and then bring it inside during the winter time. But I wanted to start fresh, and just so I don't have to move with that thing too, because if you've ever traveled with plants, and specifically with them on moss poles, it's very difficult and it can be tragic. And so I have done that before, and it just wasn't worth it. But I do have a video if you are wanting to move with your moss pole plants, and I will probably be coming out with a moving video as well to show you how I package my well over 100 plants in this home to a new home. But it is doable by using a clothing rack box, like a moving clothing rack box. I just took the metal pole that comes with the box out and put my plant with the moss pole in. But again, it was just so big and bulky and difficult, and I'm just not worth it for me on this plant specifically. Comment if you have a plant that's big, would you chop it down or would you move with it? Some people probably would. If it was if it was a more rare or uncommon plant, I absolutely would do it. But for this guy, just too big, not worth it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and like this. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.